Welcome to Divine Light Meditation, channeled by Opheana and Sikaal with the Family of Light.
Focusing on your heart energy now and expanding your heart energy to 6 feet in all directions, forming a sphere of your own heart energy all around you. With your intention, expand this down to the heart of Mother Gaia now. And take it all the way up through your higher chakras to Source. So you're now in your own energetic pillar, which holds your energetic signature. And call on the support teams now. We ask for the angels, archangels, ascended masters, and the karmic board to merge deeply, fully with us now through all dimensions of our fields. We ask for our God presences, our guides, our ascension councils to work in harmonious group consciousness together, so the highest of the highest of the highest will be shown here today for all of you in your here and now. We ask for a temple of Mother Gaia grounding to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Ask for a temple of God Presence communion to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. And finally, calling on a temple of divine union to anchor and activate through all dimensions of our fields. Feel how all these energetic frequencies become one around you now, with you now, how they open up your field, raise your frequency, drop you a little bit deeper into your inner world now. And place your attention in the God Presence Communion Temple. Where we are greeted today by Ascended Master Hilarion. And Hilarion wishes to explore the concept of time in our reality and beyond our reality today. So he's taking us on a journey of insights, of exploration, of creation, and we'll be learning more about the different aspects of time, the aspect of linear time in our here and now reality, the aspect of the fluidity of time, the elasticity of time. And he says the first step we'll be taking is an exploration of your timeline in your current here and now reality on Earth, from your birth to where you are now in your timeline. And then that will be very rapid to this point, here and now, and then we'll move forward towards your future self. So Hilarion asks you now to place your attention now to the idea of your birth and fast forward through your life to now. He says this need only take a few seconds. We are not diving into any events in your life or any periods in your life. We're simply sort of scanning over the timeline to where you are now, because this journey starts with an exploration of your future. So when you've reached the here and now point with your presence here in the God Presence Communion Temple, the temple of communion with your higher self, we will start the journey into your future. And the first thing Hilarion explains is that there are many probabilities and possibilities of this future, depending on the choices you make. And in each and every moment, you can make different choices. The future timeline that will be explored now will be the one that is of the highest probability for you, based on your connection to your inner guidance. And he says we'll start by traveling 10 years into your future on your most probable timeline. And he says, follow me now. So have your intention now that you follow Hilarion to the marker on your most probable timeline 10 years from now. And he says, imagine it as if you are hovering above this moment in your future existence, and feel, see, know yourself drop into that reality now. And he says you can imagine this as dropping into a very large sphere or a bubble reality. Drop in from the top, and this can be as large as you need it to be, so it works for you. And when you've dropped into this 10-year future moment, explore your realm and your reality here. He says the first thing that's important to let go of is any expectations, any projections, any negative thoughts, any old thoughts, and hold no judgment on what your higher self wishes to show you. Simply let the process be, and understands that nothing of your future is set, as it is simply dependent on your choices. Your higher self wishes to convey different messages to you today from different parts of your probable future timeline. And this may be a word, this may be an image, this may be a feeling, this may be an idea, this may be an entire vision of how your reality looks 10 years from now as a potential reality. And again, your higher self will be working with your highest probable reality based on your current decisions, the process of your growth in this current life, etc. So Hilarion says this is the aspect of what seems to be linear time in your realm. The calculations of probabilities based on your choices, based on how you normally would choose, and the themes you're exploring in this lifetime. So linear time is a concept that you have agreed to in your earth reality, in your earth space-time consensus reality. And this is why this linear model is being followed in this particular instance by your higher self 10 years ahead. So explore this reality now. And take some time to do this, Hilarion says, while you keep breathing up and down your energetic pillar, which will help the energies move through. If anything comes up in regards to worries or fears or blockages, just simply surrender them over. Hilarion says the teams of angels and archangels assisting today, and himself will assist you in letting those go. So just hand those over immediately. Hold no expectations of how your future needs to be, because remember, you will be shaping your future with your day-to-day, moment-to-moment actions in your here and now. So simply see this as an exploration of potentiality, he explains. So drop into this bubble world and explore. You may choose to explore different parts of your life that you are interested in, or you may be guided very clearly to certain visions, thoughts, words, symbolisms, etc. Maybe even colors or feelings. And if any of that feels negative or dark or low to you, just immediately hand that over to the teams now, Hilarion says. There's no need to hold on to that, and your higher self is merely expressing to you that deep down you hold some worries or fears of your future or your future time at this marker of 10 years ahead. And he says, try to enjoy this exercise. Try to enjoy this exploration of your future. For you are the one in full control of this creation. We'll stay here a little bit longer, he explains. So if you're not receiving anything particular, just soak up the energy of this 10-year probable future and just anchor yourself here as a marker, as in planting a flag that you spent some of your consciousness here, your time here, in exploration. Beautiful, and take mental note of any ideas, any thoughts that you need to explore, any people who come up in your visions, any places, any other elements, colors, feelings, ideas. Just mentally take note for yourself that you will remember this, and you can jot it down, write it down later. Very gently now come out of this bubble reality, kind of like visually pop out the top again, back to the space where you're sort of hovering above your own linear timeline with Hilarion and the team. And hold no connections to that 10-year ahead reality. Simply following the timeline to the next part of your future, Hilarion explains, to 20 years ahead from the moment you started in the God Presence Communion Temple. 20 years ahead now. Again, once you reach that marker, reach that point, there's another bubble reality for you there. This may look smaller or bigger or different colors. Just see how it opens up and how you move into this reality and open it up for yourself. Again, the feelings here may be totally different. The colors you may receive, the images, thoughts, symbolisms, people, places, anything which your higher self wishes to show you within this journey will be very relevant to you. And you may not understand everything right here, right now, but just simply be and take it all in. If the mind wanders in starting to connect the dots between your here and now reality, your 10-year reality, your 20-year reality, simply surrender that up now. Because it is the mind that has been trained to create this linear reality, however, remembering that the only real moment there is the now. So these probable futures are based on, again, your consensus to linear time and the highest probability based on the choices you would normally make, based on the input, experiences, etc., given to you by your higher self, created by yourself as a higher self, soul, personality, spiritual being in this vessel here on earth. So hold no attachments to your timeline. At 10 years and at 20 years, surrender any lower feelings, negative feelings, darker colors, darker emotions. Surrender them all up now, says Hilarion, through the top of this bubble reality. And the teams will transform them back to universal love and light energies. Take your time, settle into this reality now. Be here with more of you. And enjoy it here. See if you can get any visuals, maybe words, or you can see some words flashing in front of you, or you are literally in a whole different world. Explore it. Take your time. Hilarion says now to focus on opening your heart and your energy bodies wider within this 20-year reality. Become more one with it as you breathe your energies in and out, opening your heart, being less contracted, he says, less afraid of this concept of your future, because in your society, he explains, there's a lot of energy and a lot of thought patterns placed on the future, remembering that this is a very, very fluid part of your life, and nothing at all is set in stone. There are merely more probable directions you will be following based on the themes you wish to explore in this lifetime, and based on the soul groups you would like to connect with and are potentially going to be traveling with, etc. So nothing is set in stone. These are merely probable, highly probable options of your futures based on your higher self's projections into these futures. And by bringing light and love and expansion into these bubble realities, you lighten up your connection and attachment to your future, because your future will unfold no matter what, but it is the choices you make in your now. The only true moment that exists is your here and now. Spending time towards how the future will be literally takes you away from living in your now and trusting that your future will be exactly in the highest for you. The exploration of today is merely following the model of linear time, which you still will be a part of. So this projection towards the future is real as far as seen from this earth reality. So take a little more time exploring and taking in information, and maybe you will get some tips. There might be some guides with you in this reality. Maybe some angels, or Hilarion himself is joining you to explain things to you about this probable future that you're currently creating based on your choices, your thoughts, your actions. Hilarion explains that the future is constantly in flux and will be changing, ever changing. However, a good way to look at it is there's a bandwidth within which you will probably stay, unless you make choices that are against the guidance from your higher self and your soul. If you start making choices that are radically different than what you would probably normally choose. A simple example is if in front of you was your favorite food, let us say chocolate ice cream and vanilla ice cream, which would you more naturally choose if you had that simple choice? You may gravitate towards one of them, and this is how, in a very simply explained way, you would normally make choices about situations in your life. And this is how, choice upon choice upon choice, your higher self can extrapolate these future time points for you within a bandwidth of realities. Very gently now, start disconnecting from this 20-year version of your probable reality and see yourself moving out to the top of this temporal bubble reality. And again, join Hilarion and the team above your linear timeline, projecting forward now to the moment of 50 years ahead. 50 years from the moment you started in the God Presence Communion Temple in your here and now reality. Hilarion explains that if you feel any lower emotions and any negativity, any darkness come over you, any heaviness or stress, hand it over immediately, because these are projections that you have in your current here and now reality about your probable future. So perhaps they are old thought forms about how life will be, if you will still be around, etc., etc. How will your family be? How will you take care of yourself? All of these old thought forms, limiting beliefs, are actually influencing your 50-year future reality, believe it or not, says Hilarion. So start handing this heaviness over. Start handing anything that stands in your way of a light, bright 50-year probable reality. So start handing them over as you travel to that point in time. When you've reached this point, he says, and there's more come up, simply hand it over. Again, opening up this temporal bubble reality and drop down into it again in the same fashion as the 10 and 20-year ones. And take in this information that your higher self wishes to share with you, that is important for you to start understanding, whether it's consciously or at a subconscious level, like a seed that's being planted to be activated and start growing for you when you most need it. Like a direction post when you're on a long journey, all of a sudden you see a direction of where you are. And this is how these seeds can also help within the journey you're undertaking today. Again, look out for colors, feelings, words, thought forms, and explore this realm as widely as you can. With your intention, you can jump to different areas of this life within this bubble reality. Explore different parts of your life, parts that you feel are relevant to you, that you're interested in right now, which may be exploring what are you doing in that realm, where do you live, how is your social situation, etc. Again, any heaviness, any negative thoughts, any stuck emotions or feelings, hand them over immediately. Let it go. See this as a cleaning up process as well of your future timeline. And again, expand your energy. Focus on expansion even more powerfully than before, he says. Place a beacon of who you are, of your energetic signature from your higher self, your soul, your personality in this physical vessel. Place that energetic marker here in this probable reality 50 years into the future. For again, it's hard for the mind to understand, but this linear timeline is merely a fabrication of rules that we agreed to energetically when entering Earth reality. But in fact, time works very differently, much more fluidly, it's much more elastic, and it flows in different ways from the current here and now moment. Linear timelines are merely projections. However, in Earth reality, they are real. But elevating above Earth reality and the agreement set for our Earth existence is the connection to your higher self, and your higher self understands that time does not exist. Everything happens simultaneously at one time. That's the easiest way to explain it. You have multiple lives in multiple realms in different space-time, time-space configurations. And Hilarion says this need not be very complicated if you understand that in the end everything is connected, you are connected to everything, but your specific energetic signature is simply split up into parts so that a lot of experiences can be had and a lot of learnings can be understood, a lot of lessons can be learned. And so this is how you grow as a higher self, as an energy, as a soul. And one of your extensions of that particular energy is here in this earth reality. So take a little more time to explore this 50-year ahead probable reality within a certain bandwidth, again Hilarion explains. And he keeps explaining this so your mind can understand it as best as is possible. Expand your energy, expand your heart, fill this reality with your heart energy, he explains, and your empowerment and your light. Expand this from the threefold flame of your heart, the pink love and the blue light, the wisdom and the empowerment of the golden energy of the threefold flame of your heart. Expand it out to fill this entire reality now. Anything that you come across which feels constrictive or lower frequency, hand it over through the top now, he says, for transformation. Beautiful. Take a little more time here, he says, and then gently get ready to come out of this version of that reality again, of your 50-year reality, and hover above your timeline. And do this now, and then see yourself facing towards your further future, but not moving ahead. He says, send out a beautiful blast of love, light, and power energies from the threefold flame of your heart straight ahead down your future timeline. No matter how long that timeline is, send it down that timeline now with all of your beautiful, conscious, open-hearted intention. And Hilarion says the teams will be assisting you when you send out that energy to clear any obstacles that stand in your way based on your exact current here and now projection that far forward. He says send it out 2 more times, 3 in total, like a blast of energy of your heart and full energetic signature. Beautiful, and the teams will be walking your timeline and clearing anything there in the way. Turning around now to face, moving back through the past again. Stop again as you move with Hilarion and the teams to the 20-year mark. And very gently he says, drop into this reality again. And you will notice that it is different than how it felt before because you have gone further down your future timeline. He says, focus now on, again, letting go of anything that feels constrictive here and make this reality of even a higher frequency. Send out this beautiful energy from your heart, the pink and the blue and the gold empowerment waves into this reality. Make this reality of even a higher frequency. Dial up on that bandwidth and choose an even higher version of this 20-year reality based on your experiences with your 50-year reality. Do this now, he explains. And again, hand over anything that does not feel right or that worries you through the top of this bubble, and it will be taken care of, he says. Beautiful, beautiful, he says. And there may or may not be a gift there for you now, handed to you by your higher self, by one of your guides, by Hilarion, he says, by Hilarion himself. If so, take it and come out the top of this reality again. Face towards your future, and again send out 3 blasts of this beautiful heart and energetic signature towards your full future timeline from this 20-year point, towards the 50-year mark and beyond. Send out 3 blasts of this beautiful energy now, representing your energetic high-frequency signature. And when you're ready, turn around, he says, and we will be traveling to the 10-year marker, the 10-year bubble reality. Enter into this reality when you are ready, and again, this will feel very different to you than it did before. Now take your time to expand this reality to an even higher frequency. Dial up on the bandwidth of probable potential for yourself. Hand over anything that feels resistant or sticky or negative to you. Hand it over through the top of this reality to this bubble reality, and Hilarion and the team says he'll take care of it. They will transform it for you. Expand and send out energies into this bubble now from your 3-fold flame of your heart and your entire energetic field. High frequency energies pulsating out, filled with love, light, and power. He says there may be yet another gift or insight waiting for you here, or something you didn't see before. Something to be activated here as a marker for you to steer towards. And when you're ready, come out of this reality to above your timeline, face the future, and again send out 3 blasts of the beautiful energy, this time with the intention of a little bit of a solidification of this higher frequency future pathway that you have explored today, almost like markers, signposts, roadmap, a little bit of a roadmap for yourself as a high frequency probability potential when you reach that moment in your here and now reality towards your future. Send out 3 of these blasts down the timeline now, holding the intention of the highest of the highest of the highest for you at all times as you create your future in this linear time. Gently turning around now, Hilarion says, we travel back to the God Presence Communion Temple now. So follow him back to the God Presence Communion Temple. And when you've reached that, face your timeline now from your here and now reality. He says, expand your energies, expand your heart, and send out 3 more waves, 3 more blasts down your entire timeline from your here and now reality in the God Presence Communion Temple, in the Higher Self Communion Temple. And again, with the intention of showing this high frequency, cleared out, highly probable timeline of yours as markers of direction to stay close to, if that feels in alignment when you come upon these markers. Send out those 3 blasts now. And then Hilarion says he invites you in the God Presence Communion Temple to breathe up and down your pillar 3 times. In your here and now, in the God Presence Communion Temple, connecting Mother Gaia's heart to Source all the way up and all the way down to her heart 3 times. Hilarion explains that what you have explored today and what you have anchored and manifested put into manifestation as seeds today are probable futures, and you have cleared them out, you have made them clear, and this will be you in your here and now are now permanently altered, because you now have an outlook towards your future which is less filled with fears and worries and doubts, because you know you've visited, you've done the work there, you've cleared it, and you may be getting insights now. You may get people on your path, events coming into your existence, which will help you and remind you that the timeline you have placed for yourself, even though you don't know much about it at all as far as how things will exactly materialize and manifest, you know that this roadmap has been laid out for you by your higher self and your soul in this earth vessel. And he says this is the exploration of linear time within your earth reality, but also the fluidity of the different realities in time. And this is how it works in the larger universe as well. He says everything is fluid, everything is ever changing based on choices made by different parts of your energetic field. So on a higher self level, different parts of you will be making different choices which affect the whole as well. So from your soul's perspective, you have done this particular journey today, which will be very beneficial for you. You have collected a lot of insights, information, and Hilarion explains it would be good for your remembrance to jot down what you have received as insights from this journey, even if it is to look back on them in 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or even 5 years, so you get an understanding of the journey and the insights you got at that moment, which are seeds that are either planted and yet to be come to fruition, or will immediately start to come to fruition in your here and now reality. He thanks you so deeply for traveling with him and allowing him to share this with you. And we're going to seal this up now. We ask for all this energy work to be sealed and to integrate with grace, ease, love, light, and empowerment. We thank Hilarion, the angels, the archangels, all the support teams for their assistance today, all the temples and Mother Gaia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so be it, so be it. It is done. Now with your attention and all your consciousness, bring it back into your here and now as you're sitting or laying down in your here and now reality. Bring all of your energy, all of your consciousness back into your body, and breathe up and down your energetic pillar a few times. Let all of this settle in now. When you open your eyes, jot down your insights, write them down for yourself on paper or in your computer, in your phone, so that you have them there, and mark it off on this moment in your here and now reality as insights towards your future. Thank you so much, and enjoy. Many blessings.